5 minutes.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair, and I appreciate you holding a hearing on my bill, H.R. 306, the Kettle Creek Battlefield Study Act. In May of 1791, President George Washington entered Georgia's then capital, Augusta, having arrived there from Savannah. He rode through Broad Street with Governor Telfair and George Walton, as you know, a signer of the Declaration of Independence. There were great cheers and applause. Some 40 miles away, just outside the city of Washington, Georgia, sits War Hill, which was the epicenter of the Revolutionary War site, the Battle of Kettle Creek. The city of Washington, Georgia, is in Wilkes County. It's roughly 100 miles east of Atlanta, between Athens and Augusta. It's in my district. Washington, Georgia was chartered in 1780 in recognition of President Washington, who confirmed himself that Washington, Georgia was the first to be named in his honor. He noted on that visit in 1791 that the Battle of Kettle Creek broke the spirit of the Tories for a time and preserved quiet in the rest. For those who are unfamiliar with this battle, it took place in February 14th, 1779. It is recognized as the only significant Patriot victory in the state of Georgia. And during this period, the British had engaged in what they referred to as a Southern strategy. They had captured Augusta, they had captured Savannah, and they were moving upward throughout Georgia. And when they came into Georgia, there were a couple of leaders, Colonel John Dooley and Pickens, who engaged the battle that I'm referring to, the Battle of Kettle Creek. British Lieutenant Colonel John Boyd was moving some 800 men into the area, and as I mentioned, it took place February 14th. And needless to say, Boyd was defeated at that battle. It is a significant battle, and I am just frankly disappointed to hear that the Park Services in the testimony downplays the significance of this battle. I think it's important in any examination of history that we find out and we look at the opinion of those who were there and not just come up with our own. Colonel Pickens said of that battle himself, "I've been very particular about my account of the affair of Kettle Creek because the circumstances that led to it are not generally known and because I believe it was the severest check and chastisement the Tories ever received in South Carolina or Georgia." Kettle Creek is additionally the location where the famed African-American patriot Austin Dabney was injured during the war and who was later awarded 50 acres of land in Washington County, not too far away from Washington, Georgia. In 2007, the report to Congress on historic preservation of Revolutionary War and War of 1812 sites in the United States, the American Battlefield Protection Program of the National Park Service noted the Battle of Kettle Creek is having demonstrable influence on the course, conduct, and results of the Revolutionary War. They rated the site as a Class C, medium to high long-term threat priority to battlefield. The site is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and that took place in 1975. And I'm frankly at a loss as to why the Park Service would reverse the position and testify today that the site is not a good candidate. It makes little sense that the service can make that determination without first conducting a feasibility study, which my bill, H.R. 306, requests. The Interior should not allow a maintenance backlog, which falls to program management of the Park Service, to be a valid reason for failing to carry out other duties of the Park Service. We've done a great deal in this country to preserve the history of the Civil War, but frankly, we are watching the Revolutionary War sites disappear. And this is a major one in the South. And so, Madam Chair, my time is expiring, but again, I just want to say thank you for hosting the hearing on the bill today. I believe Kettle Creek is perfectly qualified as a candidate for study for inclusion in the park system, and I look forward to discussing this further along. I yield back. Thank you.